Welcome back to The Flash, and today's video we're checking out the return of Barry Allen. Now, this is going to be part 1, issue number 75 of Mark Waid's Flash run. Now, up to this point, what we see in this run is we had the very first Flash, Jay Garrick. Then we had the second Flash, Barry Allen. Now, Barry Allen, he got a sidekick, right? He got Wally West. And Wally became Kid Flash. Now, Barry taught Wally how to face through walls, how to use his speed, how to fight against crime. And Barry was a great mentor to Wally. Wally looked up to him, but Wally also looked up to his aunt, Iris. So Wally had these two figures, Iris and Barry, who were actually married at this time, and he really had a great time with them, right? But one day, a crisis struck the multiverse, and we had the Crisis on Infinite Earths, one of DC's very first crisis-level events. Now, the Anti-Monitor, he came, and all these heroes banded together to fight off against him. He was an all-powerful being. Now, Barry got into a situation that he had to run so fast to fight off against the Anti-Monitor. And Barry ran so fast, he disintegrated. He died. So, with Barry dead, Wally found his costume, and he remembered that moment. And at that moment, Wally became the new Flash. Now, Wally struggled at first. Yes, he had Jay Garrick, but Jay Garrick was off on his own. And Wally was on his own as well. Jay Garrick had other things to do. And Wally tried to form this new life. Now, Wally got a girlfriend, Linda Park. He was actually settling down. He was doing great. He was becoming a good Flash. He fought off against Gorilla Grodd, Dr. Alchemy. He started to get to know other heroes like Hal Jordan, the Green Lantern. He was having a good life. Now, Christmas came, and Barry Allen came upon their doorstep. Wally was shocked, and at first he was very suspicious, but he became even more suspicious when Barry didn't even mention his dead wife Iris in the first week he was back. But that's when Wally and Barry met at the gravestone of Iris West, and they talked it out. And Wally was convinced that his mentor, the guy he looked up to, the Flash, was back. So with Wally pretty much happy again, Jay Garrick's happy, Barry's back. How will Barry get into being a citizen of the cities now? How will he actually go into regular life now? Because he's been gone a long time. He's been dead a long time. Well, we'll find out all that in this very first issue of this 5-part storyline. And yeah, guys, if you're ready, let's dive into Flash number 75. A new crime boss has struck Keystone City, and with it he has his different goons going throughout the city and causing trouble against the Flash, right? Now we open up in the daytime, we see Wally West and Jay Garrick teaming up, and these goons with these huge weapons, these guns, are on top of this train that's just going out of control. They're shooting, and Wally's trying to stop this, right? Now Wally keeps running, the goons are shooting at them. Wally takes a rock, he throws it at one of the goons, and he takes out one of the goons in the ladder. These goons are actually, some of them are like a helicopter and they're just shooting down. You're a zip as the goon falls. Now, Jay Garrick keeps running and they see the tracks that the train is going on. Now, Jay rebuilds some of the tracks so the train keeps going at a good course. Now, these different goons keep shooting. They keep shooting at Wally and they shoot sonic booms. Wally's almost killed, but Wally barely gets back. Now, Jay Garrick keeps fighting out against these goons and he says to Wally, "You okay, Junior?" And Wally says, "Just around. Good lord. What? The guy in the ladder is still shooting at us." And Jay says, "Not us, Jay." And we see this goon shooting down, and cha-choom, cha-choom, and it takes out multiple different places, right? And Wally says, "He's shooting at the tracks." And that's when Jay says, "My god, he's not." And Wally says, "He is. He's derailing a 100-mile-an-hour train in the heart of downtown Keystone. You're a scree and you're a groom. And you see this train go off the tracks and start to go through pretty much the streets of downtown Keystone City. All these people are shocked. They're frightened. They think they're going to be run over by this train, so they keep running. Now, that's when Wally and Jay Garrick, they jump off of the train and they start to run fast. The train comes in fast. You're shh. That's when all these people look back, and Wally catches each of them just in time before the train hits them. You hear Wally running through, you hear a boom. Then, out of nowhere, Barry Allen comes, and he starts to wave his hands at super speed to stop the train. It slows down the train a little bit, but not enough. But Jay Garrick comes in, he starts swinging his hands too, causing more momentum, more wind to stop the train. Now, Wally looks back, he catches a kid just in time, but Wally decides, you know what, it'll take 3 of us to stop this train. Wally runs in, you got Wally, Jay, and Barry all trying to stop this train, and you hear a scream, the train's coming slower. Wally says, come on. And then you hear a scream, the train comes in closer. But then it stops, and Wally says, whew. And that's what Jay says, good of you to show up. And Barry says, aren't I a little late? And Wally says, do ducks quack? Still, nice save, Unc. And then Wally says, you too old? And Jay says, watch you're calling old, Junior. I'll have you know that Jay Garrick still has a spring in his step. And that's what Barry says. You guys good? That's when a kid comes up to Barry and says, Flash, can I have your autograph? Now, Wally thinks at first that this kid's asking him. Wally turns around and says, oh, how I love this job. You bet, son. What's your... And he looks back and sees Barry gave me an autograph. Now, Wally's a little jealous. Just a little bit. Now, back at Wally's place, he's talking with Linda Park, his girlfriend. And Wally says... I don't know, like, I'm not even there. You know, both Keystone and Central have gone berry crazy. And Linda says, ick, no milk? Why bother use a spoon? So Wally's actually eating cereal without milk. And Wally says, because my face won't fit in the bowl. What I'm saying is that even I'm astounded at the attention Barry is commanding. And Linda says, so you're jealous. And Wally says, jealous? No. Are you kidding? I owe everything to Uncle Barry. My powers, my identity, everything. The man is like a god to me. Trust me, no one is happier to see him back. And that's when he says, how much of this stuff should I cut up? And he starts to chop up some vegetables, right? Or he starts to chop up some food. Now, Linda says, how many tacos can you eat? And Wally says, I'll do it all. So Wally's like, I'll eat a bunch of tacos. And he says, let's change the subject. That job Midway City offered you, that wouldn't still be open, Wit? And he starts to chop up food, and Linda says, Wally West, you asked me to stay here in Keystone with you. Now you expect me to uproot my life because you want to leave? And Wally says, whoops. And then Linda says, I'm gonna pretend you didn't ask that because you really didn't change the subject. 6 months ago, you were the Twin Cities, one and only hero. Now that Jay and Barry are back, though, you're not sure Keystone Central needs 3 guys named Flash. Now guys, before we continue, if you don't remember, Keystone City and Central City are combined now. They're called the Twin Cities. Now, Wally says, no, yeah. And then Linda says, stop beating yourself up. So long as you all get along, your only problem is the, triple name. Have you thought about changing your own superior identity? And Wally says, to what? I'm fast. What says that better than Flash? Linda says, I don't know, lightning? And Wally says, ugh, yawn. And Linda says, cheetah? And Wally says, taken. And then Linda says, Pegasus? And Wally says, a winged horse? Very nice. This is tough. Quicksilver? And then Wally says, very taken. Well, it's taken at Marvel Comics. Now, that's when Linda says, Mr. Zip? And Wally looks at it like, no, that's a dumb name. Now, Wally gets a call from Jay Garrick. And Jay says, Junior, Jay, listen, Chief, Hawkskin called. Says the police have a bead on a warehouse belonging to these fellas who hit that train. Remember the goons and the crime boss? And Jay says, that's what I told him. To hold his men until the flashes arrive. Fine, be right over. Now, Wally, after tickling Linda Park a little bit and having some good time, he puts on his clothes and puts on his Flash costume. Now, he says, oh, Jay called me. And then he tells Linda, hey, I'll be back as fast as I can. He runs off, and Linda's a little disappointed because she wanted to spend time with Wally. Now, that's when Wally and Jay, they meet up with Barry Allen. And they meet up at this warehouse. Now, that's when Detective Hoskins says, The Flash, it's an honor to meet you. Thanks for agreeing to run interference. And Barry says, my pleasure, Chief. And Wally says, our pleasure. These bad boys having a chance against all of us. And Detective Hoskins says, don't I know it? You almost have to feel sorry for whoever is heading this gang. Almost. He probably came to this area figuring on having to deal with one Flash tops. Now he's got 3 of you whipping up on his boys. I figure this leaves him 2 options. He'll either cut his losses and get out of Dodge, or go for broke. and launch an all-or-nothing assault. Quite frankly, we're hoping for the former, but preparing for the latter. So they're preparing for a big battle, and Detective Hoskins continues, "You've seen the kind of firepower this gang packs. I want to know what else they got squirreled away in that warehouse." Now, that's what Barry says, "Easy enough to find out. I can vibrate through the wall, take a quick peek inside." Now, Wally and Jay stop him. Wally says, "No. Just because you're fastest, Barry, doesn't mean you always have to take the points." Now, Jay says, Junior's right. Even at hyperspeed, you could trigger some sort of booby trap." And Barry says, "What? Then we stand out here and wait for them to come to us?" And Wally points. He says, "We may not have any choice." And we are, well, wham! And we see all these goons come out with a big cannon. And that's when they say, "Attention Keystone City Police, we are the Combined. And the Twin Cities now belong to us. Lay down your weapons and surrender." So they have like an army of goons. And that's what Barry, Wally, and Jake Eric look at each other, and they run as a team. Now the goons start to shoot, and then boom, and Wally tries to save these different police officers, because yes, he respects the police, but they're no match against these goons with this high-tech firepower. Now Wally saves a bunch of them, but the goons keep shooting, butter. Now that's when Jay starts to say more. He says, "This is not a good day, but we gotta pretty much reverse the fire that they're giving to us." So he takes out his helmet, he catches some bullets, ting ting ting, and they throws the bullets back at the goons, taking him out. Now the goons scream a little bit, but then Jay is hit by a sonic boom. He's hit back. Wally barely catches him before he's killed. Now Barry tries to stop this all. He starts to fight back quick. He causes some earthquakes. He takes down these different goons. Now, that's when the goons shoot this huge can, kakoom, then boom. Then these police officers are in trouble, and Wally runs after him. He says, "Scatter, the wall is falling, move." But Wally runs in, and this whole wall collapses on him. Whoom. And the goons say, "Did you see that? This can was good for only one shot, but we made it count. I hope you are all paying attention to this epic moment. Let it be known that on this night that the Combined goes down in history. Let it be known that this night we killed the Flash." They're very happy. They think they killed Wally West, the Flash. But that's when Barry shows up, and he says, "What did you do?" And they cause a sonic boom, a big boom, and it takes out all these goons. And Wally looks up, he barely gets up, and he runs toward Barry. Barry has this goo in his hands, and Barry's enraged. He's actually saying a lot of stuff. He's shouting, and Wally catches what he says. Now, Wally's frightened. Now he shifts. Later on, Wally's safe, they took down the goons. And Linda, she's taking out some tacos out of the microwave. Linda says, "Whole town's buzzing about your victory. Apparently you boys were quite the team. How's your head?" She hugs Wally, and Wally says, "I'm alright." And Linda says, "Wally, I've got to go. Stop brooding, okay? Everything is going to work out. You'll see. Barry's your friend. All that he cares about is you." Now she walks away smiling, but Wally thinks. He's like, "I'm trying to accept what Barry said. I ran up to him when he had that goon. I thought he was very mad because he thought I died. But actually what he said was, 'I'm the Flash. Do you understand me, punk? I'm the Flash.'" So Barry doesn't seem like Barry, and Wally's very suspicious once again. So yeah guys, that was part 1 of the return of Barry Allen. It was a very interesting issue. The art was great, and it was cool to see these 3 Flashes, Jay, Barry, and Wally, teaming up. I thought that was really awesome. And the sequence when they fight against the goons, they team up, they run. Jay gets his helmet and reflects the bullets back at the goons. I just thought that was super dope. Now, Jay was cool in this issue, but his team up with Wally was even more better in the beginning. But we see Wally try to figure out if Barry is actually Barry. And at first he thinks he is. Wally's happy that he's back. And he's actually kind of jealous that Barry is getting all his attention, which I liked. It was a very cool subplot. Now, seeing Wally try to put this all together, he's confused a little bit. And when we get to the end and they're fighting off against the goons, and Wally's almost killed, and Barry just shouts in rage, it really ups the stakes and causes a lot of tension. Now, the ending, when we find out what Barry said, and how Barry said that, hey, he actually was just shouting at the goon and calling him a punk and saying how he's the Flash. Barry didn't care about Wally. He was more like, no, I'm gonna kill these goons. So something's wrong with Barry, or is he Barry? So Wally's gonna figure out all this throughout this storyline. We got 4 more parts. We'll be going over each part, each week, every Sunday, guys. I hope you stay tuned. This is a very awesome storyline with great art and great writing by Mark Waid. But yeah, guys, overall, I'm going to give this issue number 75 of The Flash, a 9 out of 10. I thought it was very well paced, it was action-packed, and it's interesting to see how Wally reacts to seeing Barry back in town, right? Like, he's very suspicious, but also jealous at the same time, which makes for a very cool storyline. But yeah, guys, what do you think about this issue? Tell me down below in the comment section. Did you love it? Did you hate it? And what do you think about that ending? Do you think this is actually Barry? And how will Wally deal with this person if it's actually not Barry? Like, if this is another villain, if it's a very big villain, how will Wally deal with that? Will he be up to the challenge? And what would Jay Garrick do? Like, honestly, he's kind of like the wild card in this. He's just there for the ride. I really like that he's here. But what will he do next issue? Tell me all your theories down below. And tell me your thoughts and actually your favorite part down below as well of this issue. But yeah, guys, if you liked the video, give a big thumbs up. And make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you miss on my next Mark Waid Flash video. But I guess all I have left to say is thanks for watching. And peace out.